They were flight attendants who couldn't go home to their provinces. There were people who couldn't go home to provinces for one reason or another. So they spent holidays together every year. So yun nga po. And then when everybody arrived po, the expected people arrived, someone suggested we go to the next room because a friend, one of the guest's friends was there and they were inviting us or something like that. So we go to the next room, which is 2207. We see a bunch of guys that obviously, like for me, in my opinion, we're also gay, and I was also told that they were gay, in pajama, in like sleepwear, pajama, and about 6 or 7 of it, or 8 of them, and we decided to play Hep Hep Hooray, that game, where Tin actually won when she won the game, and that was our last conversation when she made a comment na parang, babe, 500 lang pala, akala ko 1.5, and I said, what do you call this? Sino ba nagsabi na 1.5? Sabi niya, ewan ko. At least babe, may pera ka, okay na yan. And then that was the last conversation, decent conversation I had with her, right? So then we did a TikTok video in her phone. Then she went on live on Bigo with Romel in his own Bigo. And after that, we did a countdown. We drank more. And then people started like group together. So they were bonding. Like I was more focused on JP and Rom and Zhao. So because they were my the two were my close friends. And then I remember like one time she just came up to me and gave me a shot. She was encouraging to give me a shot, and then that's it. We didn't really talk. I took it and then she left. And I slept around 3 or 4 a.m. and I would wake up every now and then, but nothing out of the ordinary. I would see the room dark, some people sleeping, some people not there, or like whatever. And then I wake up at around 12 noon because my mom is calling me. And so I instead replied to her. I text her, and as I was texting, Rom goes into the CR, and I was actually texting when I sent the text at 12:05 because I checked my phone. I just checked my phone recently. I really tried to make sure that I recalled everything. At 12:05, he comes out and says, "Guys, tulungan niyo ako. Parang hindi na huminga si Tin." So we all rush into the bathroom. We find her in the bathtub with a pillow behind her head, like she was sleeping. But then I check her nose. There was no air coming out. I check her pulse. There's none. So I got nervous. I said, "Guys, tulungan niyo ako. Let's bring her out of the bathtub." Okay, we brought her out. We pulled her by her arms, legs, I think, because it's kind of hard. We couldn't figure it out at that time, but we were just in a hurry. We bring her out. We put her on the floor of the bathroom. And then I proceed to try to wake her up because she felt still lukewarm, right? And I thought she was just asleep or something, or like something wrong. So I started doing CPR and giving her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. When suddenly the time passes, and I thought, why is she not waking up? Why is she not waking up? I said, "Guys, we really need help." So I rushed to the phones. There were 2 phones. One was broken. The other one also had no dial tone, but after a few pounding of the whatever, it finally got dial tone. I called the reception. I asked, "Excuse me, my friend, it's an emergency. My friend doesn't have a pulse and is not breathing. Can you please send someone, like a medic who knows how to do CPR, and probably call for an ambulance, please? Thank you." It took about 2 phone calls to reception before the staff comes in, which felt like probably 15 minutes or I don't know, 10 minutes. I'm sorry, I'm just speaking as if based on how it felt like, how long it really felt like. And when she actually, meanwhile, me and Rom are like nagsasalita and we're exchanging turns in doing CPR because for me, I was getting tired. My mouth was drying out from all the air that we were trying to push into her body. And then what do you call this? When the manager arrives with the head of security, they just look into the room. They see that of course, the Tin's feet are protruding through the door. And I said, yeah, can you please, what do you call this? Can you please do CPR on our friend? She has no pulse and she's not breathing. Please, please. And then the head of security suggested, mas mabuti na pong dali niyo na po sa ospital. That's what he said. And then they left. And we waited for probably another between 5 to 10 minutes. And then the head of security comes back with a wheelchair. I remember it was black. I don't know what part of it. I think the metal, the frame was black. And then as the head of security was just holding the handle of the wheelchair, I forgot if it was JP or the other guy, trying to lift her body through the armpits and putting her there. But it was so hard. She kept on slipping. Her legs were going through the wheelchair, under the wheelchair, over it. She was kneeling. And all the while, I was just watching because I was like, patay na ba siya? Patay na ba siya? It's just like, you know, I couldn't move. And then finally, siguro mga 5 minutes later, it just felt like 5 minutes, I guess. I woke up because JP was like, ang bigat na niya, bakit ang bigat na niya? So I go there, I grab her lower legs, I bend the knees so that we could properly seat her in the wheelchair. Then I tried to flip the footrest of the wheelchair, but there was none. I was kind of like asking, parang naisip ko, why is there no footrest? You know what? Never mind. Time is of the essence. So I rush around. I asked them, guys, we have to cover her because her dress is too short. Her panty is showing. So we look for, we find some bathrobe, a white bathrobe. We throw it over her body. And the security, along with the 3 other guys, I think Rom, goes with them, right? Downstairs. Me and JP stay in the hotel room because they told us we need to check out. So we had to get everything, the stuff in the room. We grabbed Tin's stuff from the CR, her makeup, her shoes, everything. We put it in one bag, a tote bag, and then the staff was looking for us, saying we were under the impression that they were waiting for us before they started transporting Tin to the hospital. So we were like, oh my gosh, wait, we need to go. So we go to the elevator, but it was full because it was checkout, I think. And when the first elevator came, it was full because maximum of 4 people per elevator, right? So instead, me and JP decided to go to the stairwell. And we ran from the 22nd floor all the way to the basement. And when we got to the basement, Rom was there in the bench, sitting, you know, mindless. And Tin was still in the wheelchair, but this time the bathrobe was covering her face. And I was like, oh my gosh, is she dead? Is she dead? And time lapse, I think JP asked where the ambulance was, and they said na traffic daw or something. The head of security decided to bring out Astrocelp and bring out the stretcher, the red stretcher. I remember it was a long red, I think, plastic stretcher. And then his people helped him transfer Tin into the stretcher and bring her into this room. Meanwhile, with Rom was going to stay with her and go to the hospital. Meanwhile, we were asked to go upstairs to lobby and settle the bill, or like talk to, like, basically check out. Okay, so we were checking out. It took about an hour, I think. It felt like an hour. In between, we were like calling Rom, where are you guys? They were stuck in traffic. And then finally, we basically got the call that she was dead on arrival. And sorry, I'm losing breath. Tired for the entire day. But sorry, are you still there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nakikinig po kami.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Medyo losing breath. I've been recounting the story so many times already, over and over. So anyway, yeah. JP breaks down. I bring him to the corner of the hotel lobby where he couldn't be seen, and I was hugging him, putting him down, and I was asking the staff, can we already check out? Is it done already? We already filled out the guest voluntary statement of what happened. And then JP was like, can we go to Rom? He's there alone with Tin. He doesn't know what to do. He's crying. So we were trying to rush out, but they stopped us from from going out. Like they were saying, "Sir, wait lang po, wait lang po." The manager even talked to us, and at one point he was even threatening to call the police if we actually left, right? And so we complied naman, and then you know, after waiting, after grieving, calling, you know, friends, because, you know, that was freaking traumatic. Um, we were led to this boardroom on the 9th floor where we were meant to wait. And that's where JP finally got the number. Someone finally found the number, cell phone number of Tin's mom. And JP proceeded to call Tin's mom and tell her what happened, that she's gone and that we didn't know what really happened. You know, we really tried our best to, you know, take care of her and even save her from whatever whatever happened, whatever condition that happened to her. And then after the phone call, because that was the only time I actually cried that night, that day. The staff came over saying they need you in 2209. So we went up and we see that the police are there checking the room, you know, getting evidence, looking here and there. And then, you know, they asked us questions. We complied. We answered whatever we could remember, of course. Every single detail that we could remember that they were asking for. We even, you know, lifted our shirts, so they wanted to check our bodies. I'm guessing because they wanted to check, you know, defensive wounds or marks, right? And then after that, you know, calmly they invited us, like, hey, don't worry, parang kalmado lang tayo. Why don't you? I think it's better if can you come with us to the station, Makati, whatever station, and you give your statement there na lang. And we're like, yeah, sure. I asked lang if I could bring my lawyer with me. Yes po, of course, go right ahead. So we proceed there. We actually wait for them in the lobby, and then we proceed. We arrive with them. We proceed to the police station where we were told to wait. So we waited. My lawyer was there. Rom was the only one who gave his statement. JP and I weren't asked for one at one point because we were just waiting, all of us. I even bought them food. Apparently, we were waiting for the cousin of Kat. Sorry, a cousin of Tin named Kat, right? Because she was the representative of she was the relative representative of Tin, who was gonna claim the body and whatnot. And so JP was even calling her like, sana po kayo, sana po kayo. Are you coming? Okay, so because we were so tired, we basically waited for like 4 hours. And my lawyer saw that I was tired and exhausted and just traumatized. So he actually went to the police, to one of the I think the detective or the police officer, asked if I could go home now because they weren't gonna take my statement anyway. And they said, yes, sure, we have your contact details naman. So I go home and that's it. And a couple of hours later, I get a call from JP and Rom saying they were gonna be detained in jail that night. And that's where, until now, you know, they haven't been released. And that's it.
Sir, yung symptoms po, may napansin po ba kayo na para kakaiba kay Christine bago yung insidente? Kumbaga, masama po ba yung pakiramdam niya or what po?
The night before?
Opo.
Hindi naman, actually.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, the last time I really remember seeing her was when she gave me that shot. That was it.
Mm-hmm. So yung may nilabas po na parang ultimatum si Devolved Sinas na within 72 hours po na kailangan sumurrender sa kanila or magbigay ng statement. Ano po yung masasabi niyo po doon? At tatalima po ba kayo doon 72 hours?
Yes, here's the thing. I consulted with my lawyer, right? And she told me that I don't need to go because there's no warrant of arrest, because the case has been filed to the prosecution's office. It's now in their jurisdiction. So the thing is, I'm just complying with the law, basically.